Hello guys, welcome. It's already a little bit too late today. I hope you guys enjoy the stream today. It's gonna be a little bit too late. We're gonna talk about stocks and crypto as well. It's already the 5th of February, so this month is just running just the same as January, guys. Um, Welcome to the channel. Those who doesn't know who I am, I'm Boricua Pati 24. You could call me Bori or whatever fits you well. Normally my actual name is Jonathan. You can see me on many platforms. You'll see my name and everything. So uh, you know that's pretty much what they call me. And so whatever feels comfortable for you to call me, that will be good. I appreciate anybody coming by, not now, but also now, but in the future as well. Whoever comes by, I appreciate you showing support and coming over here, learning stocks and everything. And so, before I start, let me go ahead and complete sharing my promoting my stream in Discord really quick. Almost done, guys. So bear with me. Okay. One more, I think. It's always good to go ahead and I mean, if you're content creators, it's always good to get involved in the community, not only the Rumble community, also Discord and other platforms that you could get in and take advantage. It will be great. It makes you part of the community, and everyone helps each other grow. That's the main reason here. Help each other out. Okay, so I already finished sharing the stream with the platforms and everything. I think I did a X platform as well, so that's already done for. And yeah, today we're gonna talk about stocks in crypto. Normally we focus on smaller, cheap stocks. Very very easy to to trade and everything. I mean, it's easy when you know what to do, and that's the reality of it. If you practice, you learn this all these terms, and you develop a system where you could follow your own rules and have your criteria, then it should be really easy to do your trades eventually. It shouldn't take you 10 plus years like it did to me, because I was hard-headed and I wanted to learn on my own, instead of taking advice and learning from other people that are that have been way more time trading and more experience than me. And so yeah, try to take as much advice and um tips from other streamers, and nitpick whatever that will work for you, as long as you back test and everything. Also, before we start the stream, guys, just remember on my description, guys, I have a disclaimer, and so be aware that this is only for educational purposes on all platform, guys. All platform, YouTube, Twitch, I mean any platform is only for educational purposes. Okay, I'm just a typical guy that's not licensed. I don't have no licenses on finance or nothing. This is only to teach you guys how to get your feet wet, and when it comes to trading in the stock market. And so at the end of the day, it's your decision. You're the one with the that's using your hard-earned money, and so hopefully you could use it intelligently. El Wolf PR, gracias por venir y dar apoyo. Gracias. Thank you for coming and showing support. Remember, guys, over here we talk 2 languages, so feel free. I mean, if you cannot speak English, you could also show support over here speaking Spanish. No problem. I speak both, and so appreciate anyone coming by. If you have questions, feel free to hit the chat and ask questions there, or through the comment section of the stream and everything after the stream, or I'll do my best to help you out in your journey. And if you wanna send me a message privately through my email as well, you're gonna find everything on my description below, on the description below. And as well, I also have a Discord as well. I have plenty of information there. There's a resource section there where there's links for crypto, for stocks. Anything that you want to learn is there. And if you want to know about books that I've read, I have everything listed as well on the Discord, guys. Everything that you need to know about stocks. I mean, even fundamentally, fundamental analysis as well. I focus on technical analysis, but you can also learn fundamental analysis on the books as well that I've read too. So let's go ahead and start, guys. So hopefully it doesn't take me too long. Today is not premium, so tomorrow I'm gonna do a premium stream. Probably half of my stream I'll probably do premium. So hopefully you guys can enjoy that as well. So if you guys are not premium, take advantage, guys. Take advantage of premium, because you're not only having access on my content, you're also having access on other content creators out there, very known content creators. And so you could take advantage and have a free have ad free on your stream. And so that will help you as well. Hold on a second, my wife is talking to me really quick. Alrighty, guys, sorry about that. Let's go ahead and start off. What else I was gonna say? Oh, just a reminder, guys. I've said this for the past couple days already, where I'm dedicating 4 hours of my time, either morning or afternoon or nighttime. I'm dedicating 4 hours to help a lot of content creators out there with their viewer hours, chat account as well. I hit the like, the share, and if I had, if I could like follow their other platform as well, I would do that as well. And so that's kind of the little bit of help that I'm trying to do, in the community. If you guys could, pass the love out there as well, probably not doing the same thing I'm doing, but at least something is worth, something is better than nothing, So if you guys could go ahead and show support to other streamers as well, that would be awesome. Let me go ahead and show you guys a list of my progress right now with the streamers that I've been supporting. Let me see if you guys can see it. Hopefully you guys can see it. So we have already show support to Hernandez 2787, great friend of mine, really good guy. Go ahead, show support over there. He's live right now. I have my phone playing his stream, so that's kind of my support that I'm doing on for him, and so that's kind of what is good to do for the community as well. Hold on a second, my phone kind of froze for a minute. Bear with me for a second, guys. There we go. Okay, so yeah, I've been, everything that's in green right now, it's all the people that have, show support, either liking their, I've been doing a little bit of everything. I like their stream, I repost their stream. If I'm on Rumble, I share their stuff as well, on other platforms. you know, I go ahead and if they have other platforms like Twitch or anything like that, I follow them as well. And so that's kind of my a token of appreciation for them supporting me as well. So I want to give back to them, and we all grow here as a community. So Hernandez, really good friend. Go ahead, show support. Follow his stream. I mean, he's about five followers left for hitting 700. So he's on a good route. So go ahead and show support over there. Skyhawks, another good streamer as well. Go ahead, show support. I have done the same thing. I've liked their recent stream, share their content, repost it, and everything. So go ahead and show support to Skyhawk. Sin 357 is G2G Gaming, guys. Just in case if you guys didn't know, G2G Gaming is an awesome content creator as well, guys. Go ahead, show support over there. Hit the like, the share, and the follow, guys. He streams a little bit early in the morning, so yeah, go ahead, show support over there. As well as Retro Hawk Gaming, I have also show support over there and everything. Now, at Wolf PR, I haven't yet. Once he goes live, then I would spend a little bit of hours over there helping him out. But today, I think I did like a like on his recent stream, and I have reposted, but I haven't yet checked the green because I wanna spend some hours of watch time. And so after I do that, then I go ahead and mark it green. And so PR Gaming is how you call it, he goes under another name. I think I add him as well, somewhere around down the list as well. He changes channel name. So go ahead, show support on both. On both is awesome. PR, I don't know if he dropped the channel, but go ahead, show support on his channel. I think let me see if I can find I think it's called the New Gen TV, if I'm not mistaken. If I find it, I'll let you guys know. But go ahead, show support. And so this green one, Fold Up, really good content creator. Those who like watching, I mean, he does some videos in the morning of rap and everything. He shows videos of people rap battles and everything. For those people I mean, he does a little bit of everything. He does gaming, all different kinds of gaming. He's a really good I mean, he talks good, a lot of, his most of his content is awesome. Go ahead, show support. I mean, really good guy, really good talker and everything. Yeah, go ahead, show support, guys. On Faux Dub, I've spent hours to showing support. Logical Raven as well. Today, I went ahead and show support on his channel. Remember, sometimes you guys are busy. Sometimes you won't stick many hours, on the computer or phone. But if you can leave one of them, maybe a tab open while you're in the computer or something, or while you're doing a stream, leave a tab open while playing the stream, or your phone or tablet. That will help as well. And if you want, you could put a timer. I have a timer, and so you could use that as well and show support in many different ways. So that's kind of what we did. Logical Raven, also another good content creator. Go ahead, show support over there. Ryu Muramasa, I think it was yesterday that I went ahead and went to his channel, and show support over there. We did that yesterday. Aircon the TV a couple days ago. I show support on his channel as well. Cami Cams, we show support today on her live too this morning. I was hopping all over the place because today I was washing a little bit of clothes, so I was able to hop in some of their streams and have their stream on for a little bit. So we were able to complete a little bit of hours on her stream. Interstellar Gaming, a couple of days ago we did some show support over there as well. Stuff Central, I think it was yesterday that we went ahead and show support. I mean, we did a couple hours on Stuff Central. So that was pretty good. J Flint Media as well. We did some. We shared some support over there too. Um, the boy Dev as well. Really good. All these are content create. Everything that I mean, every single one of these guys that I've marked green, they're also content creators. So go ahead, show support over there. NJ Gaming 23, also another good guy. He does Marvel. I think it's I mean, yesterday he was playing Marvel Rivals, I think it is. Really good gaming. I mean, really good guy. And so go ahead, show support over there as well. DYOR Media as well. I've showed support to this guy right here. They go ahead and do crypto news and everything. I mean, so whoever that loves crypto and loves learning about crypto, go ahead, show support over there. And yeah, take advantage of his stream. We still got a long way to go. Hopefully, in a month, we could knock all of these down. So, you know, any way that we could show, love to the community, that's kind of what we're all about here in this stream. And so, hopefully, you guys could share the love. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. So let me go ahead and drop this down and continue and do the stocks. I don't know which one is this one. I guess it showed up here. Okay, there we go. So this right here is for the stocks for today. Let me go ahead and change the screen, guys. I was doing a little bit of studying of the HVAC because I already got my certifications for the HVAC. I want to get in the field, help out, and use a little bit of that money for to help out here my stream and everything. So um, let's go ahead and continue. So let's see right here, number 3. If the audio is a little bit too loud, I can lower it down. So let me see if I can lower it down a little bit. I don't wanna. Also, whoever likes the music, guys, on my description, you're gonna see Red Sixers fan AI music. He has a channel on Rumble, guys, and he also this music comes from him, and he was really nice to share with me his music, and I'm able to post his music here. So don't forget to go ahead and show support over there. And so yeah, let's go ahead and start off, guys. G2G Gaming, Wepa, gracias por venir, gracias por el apoyo. Good evening. G2G Gaming says good evening and God bless you. God bless you too, hermano. Gracias. Gracias por todo. Really nice guy. Go ahead, show support over there to G2G Gaming and Wolf PR. Let me go ahead and share their links so you guys could, whoever that's coming in and see the links, go ahead and show support. Let me go ahead and do that really quick. Bear with me for a second, guys. Okay. G2G. Okay, so this link right here is is from G2G Gaming. Go ahead, show support over there, and I'm also gonna share a link of El Wolf PR too, so you guys can go ahead and show support on both channels as well. Really good content creators. Go ahead, show support over there. Hit the like, hit the repost really quick. PR. Okay, So we're showing support over there, and this is what we're all about, guys. We help the community, and we're gonna go ahead and share his link of his stream. Really good streamer. So let's go ahead and do that. PR. Go ahead, link. So anybody that's watching, will go ahead and show support. And let's go ahead and continue, guys. Let's go ahead and continue. So where we were. I'm gonna go ahead and leave that link open. And let's start off with I hope you guys can see the document as well. So anything that you see right now, right on the left, guys, anything that you see here on the left, right, that right there is a website that we use to scan for crypto and no stocks. I'm sorry. This is we use this. I mean, they call it a screener, right? And so we're gonna use this to scan for new stocks, guys. Based on your criteria, you're gonna find here whatever you need to find from high market cap to the lowest market cap that they have available. Okay. And so I'm gonna go through that in a bit. But right now we're gonna go through what you see on the right here on the left side. I have problems trying to point at the right direction because I had to flip the camera because this right here, the name Rumble, right? It was showing like flipped, and so I didn't wanna make it look terrible on the camera, so I wanted it to show correctly, and so unfortunately, I have the mic even on the other side as well, so I kind of like have a little I don't know if they call it OSD or OTD or something. I don't know what they call it, but yeah, I think it's OCD or something. I forgot really, but it feels weird because now I can't point. By me pointing like that is the opposite side of the screen, and I have to point this way to to point at it's also pointing at the opposite object that I'm trying to point. But it's okay. It's okay. We'll try some way in the future to fix that problem. But let's go ahead and start, guys. So those who are watching, don't forget to hit the like, the share, and the follow, guys. That will help me with my content. Hernandez 2787, thank you for showing support. Appreciate it. Don't forget to show support to Hernandez. I already if you guys are on Rumble, guys, go ahead, hit the Hernan. I mean, he has many platforms. He has YouTube, Twitch, and everything. Just by you putting the user Hernandez 2787, you should find him really easy. So go ahead, show support over there, and yeah, let's go ahead and start off, guys. So as you can see on the right side, guys, you could see. Let me see if you guys can see. Okay. This is the left. Okay, there we go. And this is the stream. Okay, there we go. Now you guys can see. So as you can see right here, I mean on the right side, this is a document that I use, right, with all my criteria, right, for pre-market and market open. And right now we're talking about stocks, guys. We will talk about crypto in a couple hours. Probably in an hour from now, we're gonna talk about crypto. But for the meantime, we're gonna talk about stocks, and it's gonna be the low price stocks, okay? And so I have my criteria for pre-market and market open, right? And also market close, right? At this time it's 7:56, so the market is about to close entirely. Normally it closes, like the normal closing hours is 4 o'clock, right? PM Eastern time. However, the market still runs. It has extended hours, right? But eventually, it will close definitely at 8 o'clock PM Eastern time. Okay. So yeah, percentage change doesn't move, and so when the market is closed, I cannot depend on the percentage change because it doesn't move. I mean, you know, I cannot predict where everything is going. And so if the stock is not active, but it has a high percentage change, then you could get confused. And so you no longer want to focus on percentage change when the market is closed, but right now we're gonna focus on showing you guys how the criteria works. So pre-market, guys, in other words, is before 4 o'clock, guys. Sorry, before 9:30 a.m. Okay, from 4 o'clock to 9:30 a.m. is pre-market hours. Carmen Ríos, Huepa, gracias por venir acá y apoyar. Thank you very much. Go ahead and show support to Carmen Rios too. You know, good content creator as well. She does a lot of content on her Rumble channel as well. So go ahead, show support. She also has TikTok and everything. So yeah, go ahead and show support over there as well. Wepa. And so let's go ahead and continue, guys. So right here, as we could see on the right side, this is my criteria, and I was explaining a little bit of pre-market, what pre-market is, what are the hours pre-market, and what is the market open as well, and the market close. So when you wake up early in the morning, you could decide to once you know stocks and everything, and you start trading, there's three things that you could do, right? You could either wake up in the morning at pre-market and trade pre-market, or make a plan to trade at the market open, right? And the market open is from 9:30 to 4 o'clock, right? And we call it in the market, we call it intraday. Okay. And you could decide to do that, or you could wait to the market close and see what information, what data you could get, from a stock that has either opportunity to continue to run for the next day. And so you could formulate a plan a day before, and then monitor for the next day, either pre-market or market open whenever you wake up. And so if the stock is doing exactly what you planned, then you should be okay. And so Carmen Rio says, I appreciate that. No problem, no problem. This is what we do. We show love to the community. Gracias por venir y por apoyar acá. Y estamos a la orden aquí. And so yeah, whoever that's watching, or whoever that's gonna watch the stream in the future, yeah, don't forget to show support to Carmen Rios. You guys might not see the chat when the stream is done, but just remember Carmen Rios, CarmenRios, Carmen Rios. Go ahead, show support over there on Rumble. Whenever she's streaming, have your phone on. If you can't watch the whole stream, have your phone on, and so that will help her with her watch hours and stuff like that. So go ahead, show support, hit the like on her stream or her recent streams, and share, repost. Whatever you you could do, to show support. So let's go ahead and continue, guys. So just like I said, intraday is market open hours, from 9:30 in the morning to 4 o'clock p.m. Right? And after 4 o'clock, you have extended hours, just the same as pre-market, right? After 4 o'clock, the market's still open, but not in the exchanges. Some of the exchanges are closed, and so you could do so much in the after hours. That's why I don't recommend to trade in the after hours. Even so, there's sometimes opportunities in the after hours, but it's very risky. Sometimes you could get caught where you're trying to sell the shares and there's nobody that's there monitoring and wanting to buy your shares, and so it's really risky. It's a little risky, and the stocks that we're gonna watch today are very risky, guys. If you don't know what you're doing, then I suggest you guys to do your homework and learn everything, all the terms I'm about to mention today. Okay. And so if you have any question, just remember, hit the chat or comment, or send me an email. I will do my best to help you out on your journey. And so let's go ahead and continue. So uh market closes from 4 o'clock p.m. to 8 o'clock p.m. Okay, after 8 o'clock, everything is shut down completely. There's no action at all in the market. Okay. And so as you can see, it's already 8 o'clock, 8:02. And so the market is closed already. Everything is not moving. If I'm not mistaken, let me check the fin visit. Yes, 8:02. And so yeah, nothing is moving right now. And so this is the criteria for pre-market and market open. As we can see right now that the market is closed, this criteria does not apply to this for this time frame. Okay, for this time. And so you could use the majority of this criteria for the market close. The only thing that changes is the percentage change. And so that's why this thing, all of it doesn't apply. And so we want to go down here, where we focus on when on stocks when the market is closed. We no longer gonna focus on percentage change, right? We're gonna focus on price. We're gonna focus on market cap. We're gonna focus on the float, the volume. We're gonna focus on why the stock is moving on the day or the specific time that it's moving. We want to know why. And so the only time that you know why, you could research on why it moved is through the news. Okay. And so some softwares that you're trading has built-in news, right? Once you press the ticker symbol, the news will show up next to it. There's some other platforms where you're not gonna find that, and you're gonna have to check on either Finviz, Yahoo Finance. I mean, many other platforms out there where you can find actual news, like recent news, or real time news as well of the stock. And let's say if you can't find no news at all, where there's no recent news posted, check on the social media. Most likely, there's people talking about it, hyping it up. And so, yeah, there's always a reason why stocks are moving, you know. And so, also we want to focus on relative volume, right? Relative volume is pretty much a calculation, a ratio calculation of the current volume, right, versus the average volume, right, over a period of time. The average of, in this case, 90 days, which is 3 months. Okay, that's kind of what everybody uses, to get the ratio. And so my ratio, what I like to see is anything over 5 of ratio, okay, of the relative volume. It's very key to understand relative volume. If you don't understand relative volume, you're gonna have a lot of trouble finding what you want to find. The type of stocks that you want to find, especially the ones that I trade. And so another thing is checking the overall trend of the stock. The only way you can see that is through the daily chart. Okay. All these terms that you hear, I'm gonna run down through them as we start scanning and filtering it out for new stocks. That's why I'm just running down really fast on this list. But I'm gonna go through them one by one once we start filtering out these stocks. Okay. I want to see the daily chart to check the overall trend of the market of the stock. And I want to see the reason why I want to see that. I want to see how healthy the stock is, and I want to see not only how healthy. If it's not healthy, I want to make sure that the stock has some history of running. Okay, and that's the reason why I want to check the daily, right? Um, Sometimes these stocks, right? Sometimes they're at the $1 level, and they have to remain above the $1 level, because if they are below the $1 level, then you know there's a really big chance that the Nasdaq may delist them. And so that's why they get delisting notifications and everything, trying to give information to the company. If they don't raise that price over $1, then they're gonna get delisted from the Nasdaq, and that's not good news. Okay, and so that's when you see a lot of stock splits, reverse stock splits and everything. Either them investing on posting new products out there, or merging with another company, a much healthier company, or either buying another company and seeing if they could get some revenue through them. I mean, there's many ways to hype the company up to get the price up. At the end of the day, the name of the game is supply and demand, guys. Understanding this key thing, you know it sounds basic, but you have to do your research on it. Know what supply and demand is. The more demand and the less the supply, the price has to move up, you know to try to get revenue, enough revenue to reinvest into the company, to have more supply. And if they could acquire more supply, and let's say they have more demand, they have more supply than demand, then they have to lower the price, right, to attract buyers, and do the same cycle on and on and on and on. And depending how healthy the company is, either financially, or either you know other different ways that they could show interest to the market, then that's what they're gonna do. And so everything if you don't understand supply and demand, you're gonna have also trouble understanding price action. you know and so these are the key criteria. Also, we want to see only stocks, guys. We only want to focus on stocks. We don't want to focus on ETFs and other types of industries. um, the performance is very important when you're filtering, because you want to see only stocks that either are running or they're nearly running. So anything that's up for the day. And so that's pretty much the criteria for for market open and market close. The only thing that changes is the percentage change. Okay. And so this is the criteria that I use for the crypto. I mean, I'm going to talk a little bit about this when we start doing the crypto. But this right here is kind of what I told you guys. If you guys cannot find any news on the softwares for the stock that you're looking at, then you want to go ahead and go to social media, either through stocks tweets, through Facebook. Most recommended will be Twitter or X, whatever they call it. And so it's a good platform. Sometimes these smaller companies, they post all their information on X, and the only way to see that type of information is going through their site, through their profile. And sometimes they don't post anything, but however, you have people on social media hyping the stock, promoting the stock, and they pull in a lot of buyers and sellers into the stock. Okay. And so as long as you see some type of news, it doesn't matter good or bad, as long as there's some type of news to hype the stock, then that's kind of what you want to have. That's kind of what you want to see. And so let's go ahead and continue. I said here, important to monitor the overall trend of the stock, which is the SPY. The S&P 500, is a ETF, right? And so this right here, let me see if I can show you guys really quick. Did I sign up right here? No, I didn't. Okay, so I'm gonna have to shut this camera really quick over here, so I can sign in really quick and continue with my stream. I'm still on the stream, so bear with me for a minute. Let me go ahead and sign in. I don't know if you guys saw the video of the kid, this young kid. I think he was streaming his portfolio and everything. I don't know if it was of crypto. I think it was a crypto or anything. And so for some reason he showed his very his his key. I think it was his security for to get into his crypto wallet, and that was a mistake because it only takes a couple seconds to really get your information and take advantage and do a lot of bad things on your channel. So that was sad. I mean, that kid lost around I think 100,000. I had Bitcoin, but fell when it was around $73. Thank God goodness, as Redmond says, man, I had a Bitcoin but fell when it was around 73. Thank goodness, as it fell down to 60, but starting to come back up. Yep, yep. Any of that point, remember, the most important key to know of these healthy cryptos and stocks is that when you're dealing with something that moves the market like S&P 500 or Bitcoin, guys, these things they go in waves. Okay, and right now you see it's overall, if you could see the overall trend of the crypto, right, in this case Bitcoin, it's on the uptrend. Now you see some points, right, some events in whatever years that I've showed before, or whatever years that you could see where the stock goes down. It has a dip, or a pullback, whatever you want to call it. It has a pullback, right? And those are eras where there was some event that happened. Either I don't want to mention it because I mean we have YouTube, and YouTube is a little bit too have some rules where you cannot mention what you need to mention. But there's some events that happens where the overall trend collapse a little bit, but eventually it just it's a perfect time to take advantage of the discount, right? And then once it back comes back up, it gets stronger and stronger, and so eventually Bitcoin is just gonna turn around and just go back up. If you could see the history of it, I think let me see if I could show you really quick. Let me sign in really quick on TradingView so I could show you really quick what's happening or what happened. But it's still a great opportunity. So let me check Bitcoin BTC. So it's still, I mean, right now it seems like it's coming up again, right? I don't know why I didn't. I think I had it marked here. I don't know why the marks was not here. But I'm gonna mark it again just to give you guys a quick example of what I'm talking about. So this is a resistance line here. Well, it's a support at this moment. Bear with me for a second, guys. Oh my god, takes me a long time. Okay, this is a high right here. Also, there's another resistance line here, and this top one is another resistance here, right? So when you see these channels like this, all that is connected to this line right here, this resistance line, because since the price is below this level, it's considered a resistance. The same thing as this line here is considered resistance. Now all this spiking that's happening here, all this channel right here is part of this line. That doesn't mean one point is only the part of resistance. Okay, brother. Oh, wait a minute. Thank you for letting me know. Let me see if I can see it now. Oh, I think I blocked it. Let me see. There we go. Perfect. Appreciate it. Thank you for letting me know about that. Okay, there we go. Now you guys can see. Okay, so I had it marked, but I don't know why it didn't mark completely. Let me see if you guys can see it clearly. What I'm trying to say here. Hold on a sec. I can't see the chat. Appreciate it. Thank you, G2G Gaming. Appreciate it. Gracias. Let me go ahead and mark this really quick. so I could continue explaining what's happening here. Okay, so we got everything straightened out, and this is another resistance level here. Boom. Okay. Okay, let me explain now. So when price is below, right, the lines, these lines here, these channels here, they're considered resistance lines. These are resistance lines. There's the resistance line is controlled by sellers. Sellers either have pending orders there, right, where buyers don't want to buy at the higher price is a higher I mean for them is a higher price at that moment, and so there's a lot of selling pressure, a lot of people putting pending orders a lot lower and a lot lower, and there's also orders that been executed on the sell side. Okay, and that's why you see that down that panic here of selling. And so you have pullbacks as well, right? Temporary pullbacks. These are temporary pullbacks. This also is a temporary pullback, but it's more of a panic, and it's because in this time frame here, right, from october october 3rd or october 5 all the way to now, is that there's an event, right, happening either through politics or I mean everything that has to the things that happen in the world, which this happens in effect. It reacts to that type of events that's happening in the world. It's not only in the US, but all around the world. There's things that happen where you see a lot of panic where investors are just getting out. And so this is a lot of people call it a crash, a little temporary, a small crash, but it's not a definitive crash because the market is still fluctuating. A crash normally happens when everything just completely stops, and price keeps caving down. There's no more buying, there's more panic selling, and so that's why you see a lot of selling pressure, just like what you see here, but it's 10 times worse. And so you saw that in 2008, you saw that in in 2000, in years 2000. I wasn't trading back in that time. I was more of a 2011. I started like around 2011. So, but I knew a little bit of the history of 2008, where the real estate market started, it cracked down, and so that's why you see a lot of people panicking in the market. And so, yeah, there was a lot of events that caused that crack back in 2008. But here, as you can see, right, base, since I'm doing technical analysis, I see the pattern, right? And right here, I see this right here. They call it the head and shoulders, right? This is the shoulders. This is the head, right? And then you see a little small shoulder. And right after that, these support levels, if they're not strong enough, it cracks down. This price cracks down, and this is what you see right now. And you could see a repeat of this same story on this time frame right here. You see between 2021, right, all the way to 2022 in April, right? You see the shoulder right here, this shoulder. Then you see the head, and then you see the little shoulder here, and it just cracks down again. But what happens a little bit, a couple more weeks, later, and it took a couple months for it to turn around. So it took like 2 months to turn around, but eventually it did turn around, and it got back to the highest point here. And what happened? It consolidated for a short period because this right here, these channels right here are resistance levels, right? You still have sellers there with big orders, big pending orders, and they don't wanna move their price up. They wanna remain, they wanna sell it at that price, and buyers don't wanna buy at that price. And so that's why you see this little battle of buying and selling, and the price, it took a little bit in order for the buy orders that were pending to get executed, right? And so once those buy order got executed and the sellers move away, right? They took their orders out, then the price just is spiked. This is a spike, okay? And that's why you see the breakout. And so a lot of people took advantage and they took profit here. That's why you see a little bit of downtrend here. But then people caught it here on a discount as well, and that's why they took advantage, and they took advantage of this point right here, and they bought more coins here for the crypto, and it broke out one more time. But at this point, 125, 725, that's all-time highs. But it was too expensive for buyers. That's why they gave up. And so also the news has to do a lot with the reason why this thing, why everybody's panicking. They don't want to invest in this technology right now on Bitcoin. They don't want to invest. A lot of things are happening in the world. A lot of regulations are happening behind it. You got a lot of information, happening in the world where ICE and a lot of politics. I don't want to go too much into that because I don't want to get flagged by YouTube. But a lot of things are happening in the world where people are panicking and they're just selling all their everything that they have. But this right here is not permanent. That's the good thing about this in the market. Especially the big these big cryptos. These big cryptos, these are the ones that move the crypto market. Okay, without this big guy right here, Bitcoin, all the little coins cannot do nothing. Cannot do nothing. And you see here and there some of the smaller cryptos making big moves, but this guy is what moves the market completely. If this fails, the majority of crypto fails. You know, I'm not saying every crypto fails, but a great majority. Okay, and so everything follows the big man right here. The same thing with the stocks. S&P 500 is the one that moves the market. If SPY is failing, a great majority of stocks, starting from the bigger stocks, they start failing. Okay, everything is in sync. And so right now you just see this drop is temporary, guys. Don't panic. If you're right, if you got it somewhere around here, no problem. Eventually you're gonna see a turnaround. Eventually, you still, this crypto is still dealing with this resistance level, and it's not, I'm not saying this line is the only, is the support level. Right now it's at a resistance. This one is also a resistance line. Okay, so it already broke these two support levels, and now it turned into a resistance. So now we have to break out off the resistance lines. Okay, and so let me show you the real channel of what I meant by this line not being the only resistance line. Right, let me mark here up to where the resistance gets it's held at. So that right there, this line right here, that's a since the price, right now you could count it as a support slash resistance, but it's more of a support because there's a lot of buying orders here still pending here. A lot of people, a lot of buyers here holding the price up. Okay, same thing with this line right here. This is a small support level. Right, this is a small support level as well. A lot of small channels here. These are small channels, right? And these right here are little smaller support levels. Okay, all these channels right here are support levels. Okay, and so this price right here that you see, it has to deal with a lot of buyers here that have their orders pending. Right, and these sellers, they're not gonna want to lose they're not gonna want to go ahead and lose profit to on this lower price, on this cheaper price. They will, if they wanted to get more profit, they would, if I was a seller, I would want to get profit either on the top end of the move, or if, let's say, I missed the opportunity, I could get it either on the bounce, on the bounces. And so a lot of people that sold here are the ones that they missed this opportunity. They missed the opportunity, and they either bought from these areas here, and they kind of missed the opportunity here. They thought it was going to go to the moon, and now they just covering, they taking profit at this upper level, and right now they just, at this point, they either gonna break even. Some of them are gonna break even, or some of them are holding, and so it's pretty tough. It's gonna be really tough for them to to get to this down levels here of support. There's a lot of support levels here holding the price, so it's gonna take a little bit, but these lines that I mark here are not the only. It is not the only thing that you consider as a support. It takes all this. All this is considered a support. Okay, I just put these lines as a guide, but at the end of the day, the whole support level, it's all this that you see here, all these marks that you see, all this together in unison, it is a support level. Okay, now you have over, how you say that, oh my god, I had the word, and I forgot. You got overhead resistance, right? You have overhead resistance where there's all these sellers here stacked up, right? And let's say the price is over here, right? And you want to go over here, it has to deal with all this resistance. And so if there's not a lot of volume, if there's not a lot of demand, then it's gonna be hard to you know buy these prices here, because a lot of buyers don't want to go ahead and buy at a higher price. They want to buy at a cheaper price. Who doesn't love cheap, you know so that's kind of my analysis on it. I believe, I mean, it broke these support levels here, a little small amount of support, but it still has a lot more to go. It still has to deal with all this support. So you got like, in general. Let me see if I could do another bigger line here, just to give you an example of what they got to deal with, what that price got to, all those sellers got to deal with right now. Okay, let me change the color. Hopefully this thing gets saved on this panel here, because normally it's supposed to get saved, but it's not getting saved right now. So this right here, this length that you see here, all this is support. Okay, all this is support. Even though there's the price entered and broke a little bit of this support level here, still it has to deal with all the support. All the support is pretty much buyers here, either they have pending orders here, right? And there's a lot of buyers that are trying to hold the price up. They don't want that price to go lower. Okay, and so sellers want to push that, continue to push the price down, because they're trying to take profit. They either bought down here, or they bought around these ranges, and they're either breaking even, or they're holding. And so if they hold, that's a good thing, because you got buying pressure coming up, right? If the sellers don't want to continue selling at these lower prices, then buyers are going to take control, and they're going to push the price up. And so eventually it could, has opportunity to hit these levels again and break out eventually. But right now it's it's still, it still has this head and shoulders, which means it has to go, it's on the downtrend, but it has to deal with the support, and just like this happened before, it already happened before, and you can see here, this move right here, this turnaround. This is a turnaround. Okay, you got these lower highs here. I'm sorry, these higher lows down here, of buyers putting pressure to the upside. Okay, But that's kind of how I analyze everything. Right now, it might look gibberish to you guys, but my honest opinion, it's not an advice because I don't do financial advice here, but my honest opinion about it is that there shouldn't be no panic. If you, let's say, you bought here, you shouldn't be panicked because eventually it's gonna turn around. This crypto is not gonna die. Cryptocurrency in general is not gonna die. This thing started in, let me see, when did it start? 2011, guys. It started right when I started my journey as a day trader. Okay. And so, I mean, it's been running. It's still healthy, guys. This is not nothing new. Just like the SPY, guys. You can see the SPY here. Let me see if you guys can see. Oh, it's an ETF. So, look at the SPY. Look what happened here. You see, the overall, has a lot of health, right? And then it had here the same thing I just told you guys. This head and shoulders, right? Had a head and shoulders. This is the shoulder, this is the head, and another shoulder. And it just kept going down and caving down and caving down. And eventually it turned around, and guess what happened? It went up and it meet the high again. It got all the way to the high, and guess what? It broke out. You know, and then it had another these little pullbacks here, but eventually it kept going up. And now right now look what it did. Right now this is another head and shoulders. Right here, this is a shoulder, this is the head, and this is another shoulder, and it just caved down again, very short term. And what happened? It just went back up again. This was a discount. This is considered a discount. And so buyers took advantage of this and pushed the price up. Sellers didn't want to sell no more at that price. It's too low of a price to sell. And so buyers took over, and they took advantage, and they bought, and pushed and put a lot of pressure on the upside. This was another downtrend here. This is a shoulder, right? This is a head and another shoulder. What happened? It went down. Buyers took advantage of this discount, and they pushed the price back up. And this is, it happens over and over and over and over. I mean, and right now it's meeting all-time highs, guys. I just marked these levels not too long ago, and look, it broke out, and it's still up in the sky. So overall, this what happens when you're trading, when you're monitoring overall trends, healthy trends of the stock. Especially same thing with the crypto. So crypto's doing the same thing. Crypto's nearly doing the same thing, probably at a slower level, but it's still amazing. Look what it did. Right here, back in this time. It caved in. A lot of people skeptical. And somewhere, at this point, a lot of people saw opportunities, for as a discount. And what happened? This thing spiked up again, and it reached the highs, and it broke out. And look at that move, guys. It went from 3,000 all the way to 19,000. Who would have loved to take advantage of that of that point? But no worries, guys. This thing did the same thing. It had this overhead move here, front end of the move. This was the back end of the move, and then it turned around again. And what happened? It reached the high of this point again, and it just did almost 10 times, 20 times more. So and look what you see here. And now you see this big move. There was some events happening here, which was I mean, I'm not gonna mention what happened, but you guys know what 2021, the period of 2020, 2021, 2022, those years, you guys know. And so that's why you see this move right here. there's a lot of panicking here going on. People didn't want to hold crypto anymore, this type of crypto. And so, you have also a lot of people on media, on the people who show up in the news, panicking, and they also, influence investors too. And so when investors are scared, they just pull their money out, and that's why you see sometimes these moves like this too. But no worries, this thing turned around and it went and meet the high again, and it broke out eventually after the consolidation here. So I wouldn't worry too much. I wouldn't worry too much. I mean, right now it seems like it's bouncing off this level, but I think it could keep going down. But it has to deal with all this. I don't know why it didn't record it. It recorded the lines, but it didn't recorded the what I marked. That's weird. That was weird. Incredible. I don't know why I didn't mark. Let me see if I could fix it a little bit. No, that's not the. It's upper. There we go. Somewhere around there. So that's kind of the everything in a nutshell, guys. Thank you for letting me know, Redsnum, about your trade of the crypto guy, the crypto that the Bitcoin trade that you did. No worries if you still in it. Um, if you have enough patience, this thing is gonna turn around eventually. But I cannot give you more advice. I mean, this is not financial advice. Just like I said, it's only educational. But eventually, this thing is gonna turn around, and continue to run, because this is what controls the overall trend of the crypto. Okay. Hold on a second. My wife wants to talk to me again. I'll I'll let me put a little break here. Let me take a little break here for a minute.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah. All right. Alrighty, guys, I'm back. I'm back. Sorry about that. Uh, all right. So yeah, Resnum says, LOL. I didn't make the trade as the order failed, but that was good because it dropped another $15,000. So gonna wait and see how tomorrow goes. Perfect. Awesome. Awesome. You know what? The best. Well, I cannot give you like fine. I cannot give you advice because I don't want to get myself in trouble, legally. But this is kind of how I would look at it. Okay, this is how I would look at it if I were to be trading, and somehow I think I am gonna go ahead and take advantage of this when it starts bouncing. But this is kind of how I would look at it on a technical level. Okay, let me show you guys something really quick. I like to take the previous low, which is this point right here, right? And I like to mark the other previous lows, which is these dips right here. This is a nice dip right here. This also is a dip, a previous dip too, but was not too significant as this one right here. This is another significant dip as well. And so we're gonna go ahead and mark those lines really quick. As you can see, the price went below that, so we know for sure that it cracked these levels there. But we're tracking the turnaround. That's kind of what we're tracking right now. Okay. And so this is another level here that we're tracking. Let me see if I mark it right. A little bit below that. Okay, perfect. It doesn't have to be completely perfect, but it just to give you guys a quick insight on how this is a little bit advanced, but hopefully you guys understand a little bit. This is too steep for me to cross it, cross a downtrending resistance. Is too steep. I would love for it to be a little bit more kind of like this right here. It kind of look like it, but it's too steep. I wouldn't, right here, I don't see this is too weak. This is too weak of a downtrending resistance. Resnum says news is suggesting that it would drop as low as $40. Oh no. No, this is not gonna drop $40. There's a lot of resistance here. A lot of resistance. You say $40 or 40,000? Like around this area, 40,000. Not sure, but 40,000. Okay, cool. That's more reasonable. So the way I would look at this, right? I would wait. You never want to catch a falling knife. That's the number one rule in trading crypto stocks, anything, especially technical analysis. You will never want to buy when the stock is downtrending like this. It's kind of, the analogy is kind of like, it looks like a falling knife. What happens when there's a falling knife? You never want to put your hand in between a falling knife, because you're gonna it's gonna go through your it's gonna stuck in your hand. You're gonna bleed, right? You're gonna hurt yourself. That's the same thing. You want to see a reaction of, the bounce. That's kind of what you want to look for, a bounce, right? What kind of bounce I'm looking for? Just to give you an example, right? This is the first bounce. I don't want to buy in this bounce, on this first bounce. I want to buy on the second test of the bounce. Okay, this is the second point of this is the second touch, right, of the uptrending support level. Okay, and so that's kind of what I would love to see on this drop right here. Eventually it's gonna bounce, right? Right now we see a bounce, but we could see probably a little bit more downtrending. But the case is, I want to see a bounce. I want it, as it tested one time, right, off this support level. I want it to go up and go down one more time and test it again. And once it bounces again convincingly, at least 2 or 3 green candles, then I want to go ahead and buy. And my profit would be either halfway or near the top. I don't want to wait for it to hit the top, even though the overall trend is strong, and it's still gonna go up way higher. This is the overall trend of the market. If Bitcoin fails, everything fails. Okay, so when the Bitcoin is healthy, everything starts working. All the economy starts growing in terms of technology. I mean, everything, all different kinds of this ETF, this Bitcoin moves everything, and as well as attached to the market, to the Nasdaq. So, it's a great thing, because all that helps this Bitcoin as well. But this is kind of how I see it. So I would love for it to, let me mark it. Let me go ahead and mark it, just to show you a little bit clear what I'm looking for. Hopefully this works. There we go. Brush. So I want it for it to go down, bounce, right? As it bounces, that's one point of contact, right? I want it for it to go either test these resistance levels and then come down again, right? Either bounce, and then I want it to go up, let me see. Let me take this off. This was a mistake right here. There we go. That's kind of what I want to see, right, off this trend. It may take it may take a couple months, right, for it to complete. Everything depends on what the volume, what the demand of the trend, at a specific time, how much demand there is. And in order to see the demand, the demand is volume. At the end of the day, you have trading volume right here. This is the trading volume, 139 billion, okay, of Bitcoin being traded, okay, compared to the circulating supply. The circulating supply is what's is what it's just like as you see it here, the supply, what's being traded and open in the free publicly, what's being traded publicly. And so it's a lot less than the demand, okay. Volume is way higher than the supply, and so that's really good news, okay. That's what supply and demand is all about. The more the demand and the less the supply, the price has to go up to meet the demand. And once there's enough supply, then if there's more supply than the demand, right, then the price has to come down and attract more buyers. And this is kind of what is happening right now. There's a lot of demand, more than the supply, and it's coming down, and it's just want to attract more buyers, at a discount. But this case is happening because an event, the event that's happening right now. And you can see in all the in news right now, everything that you see in the news, that's kind of what's happening right now. You got the AI stuff. There was Resnam say there was also a report of AI tech company created 220 new bitcoins, so that may have an effect as well. Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of things that AI is doing, which is replacing. I mean, this I might get a hit on YouTube because of this, but you know, a lot of AI is replacing jobs, unfortunately. And this is kind of the world that we live in. AI is replacing jobs, and we have to live with that. It's part of the future. The economy, this is what the people react, off of. They're panicking, and they're not favoring AI, at this moment. Eventually, the people will adjust to the events. That's what people do. This is even in wars, when wars happen, you see a lot of panic in the market. A lot of people panicking, and they selling their shares, to use that money for either survival or to either withstand the event that's happening. And then eventually, when everything cools off, then they go ahead and take advantage when the prices are really cheap, when products are very cheap, companies are cheap. And that's kind of what Warren Buffett used to do back in the day. When wars were happening, he would go ahead and buy companies at a really cheap price when everybody is panicking. And that's the name of the game. um and remember, like, this is kind of just to give you an analogy. Hopefully this analogy, you guys can understand a little bit. But using the example of a shark, right? The shark, right? When we people, we think that when it's sunshine, when the sun comes up, right? We think that it's where there's a lot of activity people could see out there, and they go out there to the world, and you see a lot of people, a lot of activity out there, people buying in shops and everything. But in the sea, right, there's a lot of activity at night when it comes to sharks, and so sharks, they feed at night when there's no nobody up in the sea, moving or anything like that. When there's no light above, there's more activity down below on the sea, and that's where sharks take advantage. And so that's kind of, I don't know if that was a great analogy, but that was a good example of what the market is all about when you're trying to invest. And so Bitcoin is more for investing, long term. because this is what controls the overall trend of the market. And so, especially for the crypto, for the for technology, this favors more technology. It has to do a lot with AI, NFTs. I mean, all these companies, that are trying to put their technology up, you know. And so, yeah, we see this drop right here. And so the plan will be for it to bounce at least once, and have at least 2 points of contact. And you could either buy at the bounce, right? Once you see a reaction. Remember, you don't want to buy at a falling knife. So this, if it looks red while it's coming down, you don't want to keep buying. You don't want to buy, right, when it's coming down like this. You want to buy when you see a reaction, of a uptrend reaction. And so if you see this uptrend reaction, my game plan would be for it to test again, right, on the and bounce once more, either nearly the same area, or well, I got these lines here, these uptrending support lines. And so these are a little bit more legit, and so I would buy at the reaction of the bounce. So somewhere around here, or either on the breakout of the support of this resistance level. Okay. And I would either sell right here on these levels halfway, or I would either sell near the highs, not at the highs, near the highs, somewhere around here. Okay. And so that right there, that's the way I would play it. However, if you're the guy that's going for the long run, on the long run, and you have taken advantage of this, um, after, once it bounced, you bought here, and then you waited, and didn't sold, and you see another bounce, and you bought more shares, and it went up here, and it had a drop right here. On this drop, you bought more shares, and then it went up again, and then it went down, and you bought more shares. On every single dip, you took advantage and you bought shares for the long run. That's the kind of person that gonna have success on the long run. You know. Now me, I'm more short term, but you don't have to do what I'm doing. If you want to do the long term, that will be the right the right trade that I would well, I can't do recommendations, but this is kind of how I would do it if I would be doing long-term trading, guys. Okay? If I would be doing long-term trading, I would wait for every single dip there is that is significant, and I will buy shares at those lower levels, and keep holding. And every single dip there is, I keep buying more crypto. Okay. I'll do the same thing with stocks. If I was trading the S&P 500, I will buy every single dip there is, and just keep taking advantage. And whenever you're satisfied, then you could either put all that money, if you had enough if you're trying to cash out, and you're trying to you no longer want to trade the stock anymore, or the crypto, you can either put that money in a morning market account, right, and cash out 5% every month, or every quarter, however you feel comfortable, and you could live off of that for the rest of your life. So you could do, there's many ways to trade in the markets. It's not there's not one end all be all type of trade. That's not one way to do everything in the market. There's many ways you could get in the market and participate. So hopefully that works for you. A little bit of strategy. um just take this for face value. Take it with a grain of salt. Do your little bit of research. You're doing pretty good. That's a good choice, where you held, you didn't got desperate and bought it anyways. Wait for the reaction. Wait for the reaction, and try to catch it at the bounce, and you should be okay. But eventually this thing is going to turn around, just like you see here. It might take a couple months for it to turn around, but as long as you recognize the move, that's all that's all it matters. So hopefully that works. But let's go ahead and continue, guys. I know I talk a little bit. I talk an hour and something. I took an hour or something, but it was worth it, guys. It was worth it. Thank you, Resna, for showing support, passing by. Any other questions? Yeah, feel free to ask. Let's go ahead and do a little bit more on what I like to do, which is low price stocks, guys. This is my forte. This is kind of what I'm good at. I'm good at stocks. I also do crypto, but I do very short term crypto, and I've had success on both. I've also done NFTs long time ago, and I was successful as well on NFTs. I'll probably do some seasons in the future of NFTs to show you guys how to acquire NFTs and everything and take advantage also, and it makes a little bit of profit. But for the meantime, I'm just gonna do more episodes of stocks. Eventually, I'll come up with some new stuff on the future. So I appreciate you guys supporting me, and let's go ahead and continue, guys. So let's go ahead and start off. So we have two. Let me see. This is three stocks. Yeah, three stocks that we had here. The first one is LIMN, right? We've been monitoring this for 2 days already, and yesterday we said we're gonna keep watch of it, right? We're gonna wait for the breakout at 155 resistance, and so we're gonna go ahead and check that one out right now. Let's say LIMN, if I'm not mistaken. LIMN, yep. And so let me check the 5 minutes. And so look at this, guys. What happened here? 155. What I said, we were waiting for a breakout. We're gonna keep watching it, waiting for a breakout at 155, right? What happened here on pre-market? It broke out at 155. You could have gotten here on this candle right here. Really good move here, 25%. Awesome move. You probably wouldn't take the whole move. I would, if it was me, I would have took 5 to 10% only. If you were tolerant to wait for price action to show up, and so it had good volume, 78 million volume compared to the average, which is 9 million, and it also had more than the float, which is the support. That's kind of what you want to see, more demand than the support. Okay, and this was a good breakout. And so let's say you miss the opportunity. I mean, you could have marked another resistance level here, right here. You see this two candles right here is considered a pullback, a confirmation pullback right here. A little bit extended, but it was still good to consider as a confirmation pullback. And this is the highest level right here, so this could be considered as a resistance. And so I would love to see a breakout right off those levels if I was trading this one at this point. And guess what, guys? You had another opportunity here. You got a confirmation breakout, and you could have caught it right here at this candle, 16%, and it went as high as 26%, guys. So you had two good opportunities there. Excellent move, and it closed strong today, right? However, it went, it took a little dip right here, and it's now hovering the VWAP line, right? I mean, it had 3 awesome days today, counting today, and so this right here as a whole is 293%, guys. This is the kind of opportunities that I teach on how to find. Most likely, you're not gonna take the whole move. Some people do take advantage, and everything is based on knowledge of level 2, level 3, and level 4, guys. If you guys get to understand what are these softwares and how to trade them and how to use them to trade, you don't make your entire decision based on it. You make it on many things, looking at the criteria that you have and the plan that you're trying to put in place. You also have to have some type of risk management as well. you wanna feel comfortable trading a certain amount that if the price goes on the other side, you won't mind losing. And so that's kind of the name of the game. You want to have more profit percentage than losses, okay? Than loss percentage, okay? And so this is how you see it. Not sure if this is gonna continue. I mean, the way I would mark this uptrending support is I mark the lower lows of the previous day with the current one, with the current day, and this would make a, you can see here, this line, it's not, it's nothing perfect. It's all this will be counted as resistance. Well, it's a support, I'm sorry. This also is counted, this whole move right here is counted as support as well. Okay, all this is counted as support. This up and down movement right here, these channels right here, this is counted as support as well. But this is a little bit too extended compared to this line right here. This is a guide, guys. You don't make decisions based on these lines that you make, okay? There's other things behind it that make that you gotta pay attention of. Okay. Right now this thing is going down. On pre-market, we might see a drop, right? And maybe a test of this levels here, maybe at the market open, maybe pre-market, maybe a little bit afternoon. If you like to if you want to monitor it, that's up to you. Me, I won't monitor it. I mean, remember, I trade stocks that are first green days, second green days, and if they look good enough for me at my strategy, then I will try a third green day like today. But I won't push it because eventually it has to pull back eventually. And so this is the case right now. Right now it seems like you have a panic drop right here, and we might see some more of that on pre-market or market open tomorrow. Okay, it could break down, it could break these levels and come a little bit down, but we have to see. So this was a good move, but I won't continue to track it. I would have loved for it to remain above these support levels, which became resistance once it got broken. Okay, so pretty good move, but it's time already to take it off. But it did exactly what we planned, and that's kind of what I'm thankful for showing you guys my plan. And so BOXL is another one. Everybody has a different way to trade. This is the way I look at stocks, and it works for me. It's been working for me for a long time, and so hopefully, if you get to follow what I do, hopefully it works for you as well. So this thing, it consolidated throughout the whole day. It had a channel there. My plan was for it to bounce off these support levels, but it failed, and right now it's just dropping. I'm not sure. It's still consolidating near the mid. Gave back half of its gains, so it's it still has opportunity. If it holds above this VWAP level here and these resistance levels, if it holds above it, then we might see something pretty special on top of these levels here. But right now, not sure what's gonna happen. I can still monitor this thing. Let me see if I can mark these lines correctly. There we go. Okay, so there was a lot of resistance lines here, and this price went up, so we might see some moves on pre-market or market open going to the upside. These are no longer relevant. These lines right here are no longer relevant, and so right now we have for a turnaround, we might see something happen here. So BOXL is going to continue. We're going to keep watch. Failed to execute. Hopefully that's the right way to say it. Failed to execute. Looking for a turnaround. a turnaround above 183, $1.83, and test highs at 215. Well, no, not 215. 237. 237. Okay. And so that's the way I see this. So we're still tracking this one, and we're gonna put the today's date, which is the 5th. This month is going very fast, guys. So remember, guys, don't forget to hit the like, the share, and the follow, guys. I appreciate every single one of you guys coming over here and showing support. Let's go ahead and continue. So SUNE is the next one. SUNE. And so SUNE, we had said here, good price, good volume, right? Low float, had news not positive, right? Not great daily overall. You know, however, had history of running. Plans for it to hold above VWAP and test high day at 125 and 134 for a breakout, right? So 125 to 124, it did broke out a little bit, but was not convincingly, and it failed. You know, it didn't held above the VWAP. You know, right now it just caved in. You know, this thing didn't do anything. It failed. This was yesterday that we were talking about it, but it didn't test nothing. I mean, no volume. See, 1 million compared to the average is a lot less, and the float, you know, way less than the float. So in terms of supply and demand, there's way more supply. Therefore, you see this drop here happening. They're trying to attract more buyers, and in order to attract more buyers, some good news has to happen, not debt settlement news like this, like what you see here. Not good news. When when you're not having good experience with the shareholders as a company, then you're gonna have bad experiences in the market, you know. And so this is why you see this reaction here. Okay. So no good. So let's go ahead and take this one off. And so all we got is BOXL, and we're gonna start scanning stocks. Okay, guys, so this is what we use. We use Finviz. You could use any other platforms, Yahoo Finance, Google, whatever you feel comfortable. I use Finviz. Okay, and so in Finviz, I go to screener, and you have 546 pages of stocks, guys. So let's go ahead and knock this thing down. We don't want to go ahead and go through 546 pages, guys. We want to have a minimum amount of stocks to look at and to analyze. And so this is the way we filter things out. And so let's go to all right here to get more options here. This is a little bit too little for us. So once you press all, you can see a lot of options here. And now we're gonna go through the criteria, right? What I just said here, right? Since it's the market closed, we no longer focusing on percentage change. So first thing to check, since we could see it here on the top of the list, is market cap, which is part of our criteria. Hopefully you guys can see it clearly on here. If you can see it clearly, great. If you hopefully you guys can see me. It said disconnected. OBS reconnection successful. Hopefully you guys can see me and hear me clearly. It said OBS disconnected, so I'm kind of freaking out. I don't know if everything is still working properly. Hopefully everything's working properly. Bear with me for a second, guys. Let me check something really quick. Let me see if it's working. Bear with me for a second, guys. Okay. So everything's working properly. Thank God. I was panicking for a minute. Okay, let's go ahead and continue, guys. So don't forget to hit the like, the share, and the follow, guys. Let's go ahead and do this. So this is the list, guys. This is what we're gonna use our criteria to filter out the stocks. And so right here, as you can see, market cap. We're gonna focus on micro, okay, which is under 300 million. Next thing we want to focus on prices, which is part of our criteria here as well. So price has to be $1 above $1 and no more than 20. If it was my personal preference, at least under 12 dollars or 11, somewhere around there. Anything below that is perfect for me. But if it goes above that, depending on the supply and demand, then I'll trade it as well. um but anything above 20 is too much for me right now. you know there's bigger spreads as well. That's another term that you guys should learn as well. And so that right there, price 1 to 20. Wait a minute. $1 to $20. There we go. And so if you go to the third column, guys, you're gonna see here relative volume, right? And so relative volume, just like I said, is a ratio. Uh, they get a ratio off a calculation using the current volume and the average volume. And the average volume is they use the average volume over using at least 3 months, which is 90 days, 90-day period, right? And based on that data, off the calculation, you can find the ratio of the activity of the volume of the demand. In other words, okay. And so higher than 5 ratio is perfect. I mean, you got plenty of stocks doing big moves, okay, on a short period. And so another thing, industry, I want to focus on stocks only, right? Next thing is performance, guys. Performance, I want to see anything up for the day. Current volume, just like I said, the demand has to be above 1 million, guys. Anything above 1 million is awesome. Awesome. And so float is the supply, right? Anything under 10 million as a supply is great. So uh volume, in case you guys don't know what's volume, is the number of shares traded today, the buying selling pressures of the stock during a current time. That's kind of the volume, the demand of the stock. And float is the supply. In other words, it's the number of shares available for public trading, right? Does not include shares held by insiders, because you got the old outstanding shares, right, that the company owns, right? One side of it is the privately owned shares that either employees own or CEOs own, or other shareholders own. And now you have publicly traded shares, which is shares that they supply to the market, and people like me and you that are trading it have could take an opportunity to trade it. Okay. And based on the supply, if there's a lot of demand for that type of supply, for that little bit of supply that they have available, the price could fluctuate in many different ways. So this is kind of the criteria, guys. Very simple to understand, very simple to do. Once you input this criteria, right here, as you can see, I mean, we only have one page and we have 6 options here, you know. And I don't like to see all this information. I mean, I care less of what the company name is and all this information here. All I care about is the ticker symbol, right? The volume I care about the relative volume, and I also care about the float, okay? Uh Guys, 5Y. Hi, add me on Discord so I could join your live stream whenever you go live. Okay, brother. When I finish the stream, I'll go ahead and see your information, everything. Try to join you. Appreciate it for your showing support and passing by. Thank you very much. Hope you like the stream. So as you can see, guys, we have six stocks here. So let's remove all this information. One way to do it, I mean, the only way you could do it is to go to custom right here. You hit custom, and then you have options here to either input what you want to see, what other options that you want to see, or take off, remove what you're seeing at this moment, okay, of these columns. Me, I don't want to see the numbers. I don't want to see the name of the company or the sector, industry, country, market cap, and PE ratio. I will only focus on market cap when I'm filtering out the stocks. But the rest I remove, and I also want to remove the percentage change. Another thing I want to add is the relative volume, like I said, and I want to add the float, okay? And so right here, and now I have a good option here. It's very clear, very, very good to understand. You don't have a lot of blabber jabber here, a bunch of mess here that you have difficulty going around. Now, the next thing I wanna sort is the volume from high to low. And right here, I got a good something good to work with. We already saw LIMN. Had good volume, and it ran for the third day already. Right now, we don't want to pay attention of it because it has to pull back eventually. It might have another small push, but I don't want to risk it and get caught on a turnaround. So I'm not gonna go ahead and look at it anymore. So right here, we only have BOXL, okay. And so let's go to the next one. The next one is CISS. I think CISS, looking at that preview, is not looking good. But we're going to look at it anyways. We had Mark here. I mean, it had this was the forefront of the move. And this is the back end of the move. The pretty much for these type of stocks, the back end of the move is, it's just these shorts are covering, at this end here. They just taking profit, and this thing, it looks like it's just gonna keep dying. I don't see no life in it right now. However, the volume is high, 71 million, so there's still demand for it on the sales, and from the buying side, on the selling side. But as you can see, I mean, it didn't close strong, it closed weak. So I'm not sure if this thing has more life. It has more than the flow as well. And so if you were watching this, right, and you didn't see the forefront of the move, I mean, you still could have took a little bit advantage off of yesterday's after hour move. As you can see here, that you have this resistance level here after the confirmation pullback. And I mean, you could have took advantage of this breakout. I mean, some people take the breakout right at the first move, but it's risky. I wouldn't do that. I would wait for a pullback bounce off the support level, which it didn't do at the beginning of on this move here pre-market. It failed. So this thing was gonna struggle. I mean, it struggled all morning to try to like keep its head above the water. What I mean by that is be above the VWAP level. So this was very difficult to trade today. I mean, the only opportunity here that I saw was right here around this area here. After the breakout, this breakout level here off the support. I mean, remember, this here is the highest point of pre-market. So I would have marked a resistance level here. And so that's the resistance levels right there. And so once it got below this support level, this support level became resistance for a very short time. And so just like my strategy, I like to wait for a breakout and either trade at the breakout level here, which is this candle. I mean, you could have took 12%, But if you want to be a little bit more safe, you could have wait for the pullback and bounce off this support level, and you could have took advantage on this other candle here, which is 11%, and it went as high as 16%. So those are two good moves, a little bit too risky, and very short period, short time. So you have to be careful. But it consolidated throughout the day, and now it's weak. It just dropped a little bit more. So I'm not sure if this is going to continue to go up. It has a lot of resistance levels here, and this is part of the resistance level, right? All these tops right here are part of the resistance levels. So very, very hard to break right now. And so let's go ahead and continue. AIM. AIM is another one. And so as you can see here, it had a confirmation pullback, but for my type of strategy, guys, I wouldn't be interested in this thing. I mean, there was nothing that I could put interest in it. This thing failed, and just it was below the water all day. Yeah, this thing doesn't have no life. And on the daily chart, it just failed. A lot of splits happened, a lot of negative earnings. Yeah, did not like this one. So let's go ahead and continue. GDTC is the next one. GDTC. And so GDTC had a little run, after hours yesterday. However, this high day right here, which was a resistance level, I mean, didn't give me a lot of hope throughout the whole day. Look, it tried to break out here and it failed, and it was underwater all day. It tried to test one more time afternoon and just failed. So yeah, this thing, I'm not sure if it's gonna continue. It seemed like it's above VWAP right now, and volume is pretty good. It's not bad compared to the average volume and the float. It's still demand for it. News, I'm not sure of news. News right here we see on the 29th. It refutes misleading claims, reaffirming clinical process. Okay, this is not relevant news here. Oh, wait a minute. I thought it was reconfirm. It says reaffirms clinical progress. So, this is pretty good news right here. It's not bad. So they have a clinical progress here. I mean, it's a biotech. They go through 3 phases, guys. I'm not sure in what phase they're in right now of testing of these trials, but they're showing, they're reaffirming clinical progress, and so that's pretty good. That means they're still running with the trial. But it's not too significant like a earnings news, like a contract news, or either an investor investing. So we'll have to see. Hopefully you guys can see me clearly here. Hopefully. Okay. Yes, you can see me clearly. Okay, good. So let's go ahead and continue, guys. We're almost done on the stocks. I'm not sure if I should, if I will hold this one, monitor this one. Right now it's above the VWAP, so I would have loved for it to have a little bit more stronger volume. Really tough to get. We're not gonna add it. It's not my cup of tea right now. The next one is RNAS. RNAS. And so RNAS right here, I mean, it didn't have opportunities for me to on my type of strategy. I mean, it had a pretty nice run here at the pre-market, but then it failed. I mean, it's right below the VWAP. All day it's been below the VWAP. So no good move. I mean, I'm not gonna waste time explaining the news. I mean, this thing didn't run at all. And so yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. We didn't had a lot of activity with the RNet, with the lower price stocks, guys. All we got right now is BOXL for continuation. LIMN had a great move this morning. However, I'm not gonna continue monitoring it because it already ran for 3 days. I don't wanna get caught, on another on some turnaround. So let's go ahead and jump into the crypto. And so before we jump into the crypto, I just wanted to show you again the SPY, And so SPY, it's in an uptrend. It broke out, so it's still healthy. We don't see no significant drops like these right here. Usually when there's drops like that, you have these little low price stocks, the ones that I see, the ones that I'm interested in, make huge moves, guys. But also, I mean, there's plenty of opportunities every day, every morning, guys. So, you're never missing anything. Normally when we don't find stocks in the afternoon, when the market is closed, when there's no opportunity for that time, then there's no opportunity. There's no, but you could always find something pre-market or market open. There's always opportunities showing up, and you could use the same criteria that I use, and my criteria proves that it works. And so use I mean, just like I said, use everything take everything with a grain of salt. At the end of the day, it's your own hard-earned money that you're trading with, and you have to do your due diligence, to understand how the market works. Okay. Any questions or anything like that, go ahead and hit the chat or comment privately or whatever you feel comfortable. So let's go ahead into coin market cap. I'm not sure if I had some crypto listed. We don't have crypto listed. We already went through Bitcoin. We already explained Bitcoin, which is not looking good right now. But it's not permanent. It's just temporary, guys. And so that's what we're waiting for the turnaround. But in the meantime, you could still take advantage of the smaller crypto. They always run. There's always opportunity. Maybe not at this time, but maybe in the morning. When you wake up in the morning, maybe there's opportunities all the time. You can see here at the trend where it says trending or top percent gainers, there's always a crypto moving, crypto that are starting to move or that has been moving for several hours or for several days. So you can see everything there, you know. But this is the little formula that we use when it's late, and we're trying to take our time trading these crypto. So you could do this formula right here, and so this is the main page. If you don't see this, hit the title. Hit the title and you should see this right here. And now the next thing will be to hit the filter. And we only have three criteria, guys. We only have uh market cap, right? Market cap. I would like to see, and market cap is the total value of the company, guys. That's what it means. I want to see anything that is value from 1 million to 10 million. That's my personal preference. And volume, just like I said, is the demand of the stock or the crypto. In this case, is volume 24 hours. I want to see over a million volume, up to 100 million volume. Okay. The last thing I want to check is the percentage change. Remember, crypto moves 24 hours, guys. Crypto don't sleep. And so I want to check percentage change from 10% to 500% max. After that, I hit apply. And now I have some options here to check. and I want to sort out from 24 hours. And we got plenty of options here. Now we don't know if the majority are gonna work or the majority have opportunity, but we're gonna check one by one. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So this right here, I mean, we don't see a lot of interesting move here. I mean, it had a pretty big uptrend here, but then it failed completely. It was a one and done. And I don't like to see all this channels here. So yeah, this one is a failure. I'm not gonna continue to look that. I mean, Union has show up again, guys. Let's see if this thing, yeah, another one that has these ugly channels, guys. Yeah, you don't want to trade none of this that looks like this. This is not real. All these drops like these are a glitch of the chart. Okay, at that specific time, you don't want to see, you don't want to trade this because it's very difficult to track. Okay, track the price action. Okay, so let's go on to the next one, Zeus. And so Zeus is a, you can see this clearly, which is good to see. Now, I would like to see a little bit more on the trading view platform, Zeus. Crypto. There we go. And so Zeus complete name is Zeus Network. So let's try to find Zeus Network here. I mean, there's a couple here, but I'm not sure. It could be this one, spot. Check 5 minute. Okay, perfect. So as you can see, I mean, it had a pretty good run here, guys. It had a pretty good run. Let's see the percentage. 297% on that move, guys. If you would have caught that thing, I mean, you would have made good profit. Now, I don't trust too much on this move. I know I'm speaking a little bit too low. It's just my voice I'm losing my voice. So as you can see here, I mean, it looks like it's turning around now. Not sure if it's gonna make another move and get above the VWAP level. If it does, then we might see another run. I would love to track this one. I'm curious. So let's put Zeus as a first one. Zeus Network. Looks like a turn around after breakout of downtrending resistance. Okay, we'll monitor. Okay, so that's what I would write. So we're gonna keep watch of this a little bit. I don't like looking at this triangle a little bit. I mean, it's a little bit too steep for me, but right now at this moment it broke out this downtrending resistance, so we might see some moves here happening pretty soon. But this is the level that we're gonna be concerned if it breaks. If it breaks this level, then this crypto is over with. It's gonna have a lot of overhead resistance, guys. Okay, it's already have an overhead resistance, but if it breaks out this level, it's gonna be a lot worse. So we'll keep on watch. Let's go on to the next one. Remember, I like to see anything over 20%. These are low. We'll look at this one, 2.3, which we already monitor as well. But after that, we're pretty much done for the day. So this one, oh my god, it looks terrible too. Superb, I think it is. But we'll put sup. Let's see. Nope. Nope. Let me see what is the name. It says Super P. That's the name of the crypto. Super P. Super P. This one right here. But I'm not sure. Well, you got all these. I'm not sure which one is the most active. And the only way you can see that is going through the markets, right? And seeing where the volume is. So right now you got coin market cap, and it's followed by USDT. So that's the one that's been used more frequently. Pancake swap. So not sure USDT. And there you go. Now you see it. So as you can see, guys, this thing just took a big drop after a 484% move, guys. These are the type of movers that you would see, but you know, you got to be very careful, guys. These things are pump and dumps. Very risky, guys. If you don't know what you're doing, I suggest you guys to take, you know, do your homework, do your research, guys. Okay. Very risky. Yeah, I won't trade this thing. It's weak right now. Very weak. And just like I said, I like to make trend lines using the previous day and the current day, the highs of those days. I don't know if this is the high of those days. It does have a confirmation pullback, which I like to see. And now it seems like it's turning around, but I'm not sure how long it's gonna continue on these levels. It gave back all of its gains. If it would have gave back half of its gains, then I would have been a little bit more confident on the move. Kind of like what I saw a couple seconds ago with um with Zeus Network. But this one just, I mean, it exaggeratedly took a big dip here. Okay. So yeah, I'm not gonna go ahead and trade this one. Psyop Psyop Anime is another one here. We got three more left, guys. We're almost done. So as you can see here, hopefully you guys can see clearly the stream. Okay. And so as you can see here, let me see if I can see this. Psyop Anime. Let's go ahead and write that one down. Let me copy paste this thing. Bear with me for a second, guys. So Psyop Anime, this one right here. Okay, guys. So we got good news about this one. This was a previous resistance line, and this thing got broken twice on this area. I mean, I would have waited for a bounce, which it did pretty good bounce there. You could have took advantage here on this breakout as well. I mean, very nice breakout. You could have took advantage there, get in there for a max of 17%. Pretty good move, guys. It might not look attractive to some of you guys, 17%, guys, but if you do this consistently, 17% throughout weeks, throughout months, even holding all the way to the year, I mean, you're gonna get a lot of good returns here, guys. So that's pretty good. I mean, and right now you see here another breakout. Is a perfect breakout here. On this candle, you see 11%, guys. I mean, plenty of opportunities. Let's say you missed this opportunity here on the pullback, you could have got here on this other candle here, and this thing, it went all the way to 18%. So you could have got it. You could have got in on the breakout, or you could got in on the pullback bounce off these levels. And right now, it seems like it's testing the support level again. Not too interested in I would have wanted for it to hold these top levels, but right now it's not looking good, attractive right now. Hold on a second. Yeah. Bear with me for a second, guys. Almost done. Almost done. On this bounce right here, uh, yeah, I don't. If I would have seen a little bit more candle above, I mean, this thing looked too big of a candle. Not sure. It's still holding. It's in this bounce. If it does bounce eventually, I would love for it to like break out these levels here, but I'm not sure if it's gonna do that at this moment. It seems like we see a little bit of green here, but not sure. It is a good trend though. Let me mark a trend line here. You got the lows, and this is the lows of days. And so I like to mark the lows of the previous day with the lows of the current day. And so these are the trend lines that I mark normally. So not sure if it's gonna bounce there. You know what? We're gonna put it. I'm gonna have it on watch. I'm gonna have that on watch. Just for educational purposes. Um, looking for the bounce off uptrending support level. Okay, so we got that going on. Bounce and test high of day. And so we're done with that one. And how many more? We got two more. So AA, let's see AA. AI looks pretty good. Look at that. Interesting. AA, let's see if AA shows here. AA, a Arai, that's what it's called, Arai. And so to see what other markets that is getting traded the most is WBMB. WBMB. Sorry about that. Okay. I think we found it. Okay, so we don't have a lot of, I mean, let me see. I think it's not this one. I think it's this other one. There we go. If I'm not mistaken, I probably missed it. Yeah, it's uptrending. This thing is not uptrending. This one is it. It doesn't look like there's a lot of activity here going on. I like this type of activity. But on this moment right here, I don't see much. Very risky right now. Yeah, I'm not gonna go ahead and jump at this. It does look really nice on this one. I'm not sure. And this one is a 1 hour. That's why it looks a little bit more clear. But on the smaller time frames, like the 5-minute, you're gonna have a lot of trouble trading. So yeah. So the next one is port 3. So we're gonna look at port 3 really quick. Port 3. And this one is the last one. Port 3. And it's still consolidating. It did had a pretty interesting move there. On this bounce right here. But I don't see a lot of interesting opportunity there. Not sure if it's gonna get up there again. It's consolidating right now, but the volume is very low compared to the supply. So yeah, guys. Yeah, there's nothing else that we're gonna watch. Right now for crypto, we have Zeus Network and Psyop Anime, and those are the two that we're gonna watch. We're gonna monitor, and we have for stocks BOXL, guys. Okay. So these are the ones that we have today. I hope you guys like the stream. Remember, we do this from Monday to Friday. Okay, we do this from Monday to Friday, and Saturday and Sunday we do gaming. So tomorrow is Friday. It's the last day of the week. Hopefully, I see you guys there. Appreciate everyone that went to the comments and show support. Go ahead, show support to them as well. Every single one of them that I mentioned today. So yeah, don't forget to show support on my channel as well. I have everything on my description. And so yeah, guys, I hope you guys have a good night. And for some of you guys, I don't know what area of the world of the of what country you're from or where you're at right now, so I can't say good night or good morning, but whatever wherever you at, I hope you have a good day or a good night. So I'll see you guys on the next one, and I appreciate you coming by here. Remember, any questions that you guys have, put it in the comments or text me on email as well. Appreciate it, you guys. Have a good one. All right. Let me see if I could go ahead and raid you guys. Raid some one of you guys. Let's see who's online. You know what? Cami Cams is pretty good person. Go ahead, show support over there. Let me see if I could do a raid. Really short raid. I know it's not a lot of people, but hopefully something works. Raid. All right, guys. I see you guys on the next one. I hope you have a good night. Take it easy.